and good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shuhaida Arifin and you're watching News at 10. Our headlines tonight. Malaysia seals 34 billion ringgit MOU with Saudi Arabia conglomerate. Development of Employment Act due to labour shortage. Saudi Arabia conglomerate Ajlan Bros Holding Group is set to invest close to 34 billion ringgit in 9 Malaysian companies. During the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding today, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Sabri Yaakob said the 9 companies are from the semiconductor, social trade, medical technology, defence and entertainment industries. The companies involved are Dagang Nextchange Berhad, Aerodyne Systems Sdn Berhad, National Aerospace and Defence Industries Sdn Berhad, Twistcode Technologies Sdn Berhad, Cybersecurity Malaysia, Malaysia Genomic Resources Centre Berhad, Meta Universe Sdn Berhad, Light Up 7 Sdn Berhad and My Events Sdn Berhad.
Ada 9 company yang menandatangani MOU bersama dengan syarikat Ajlan Brothers Holding Group daripada Arab Saudi. Jadi dari segi investment je sebanyak 34 bilion ringgit yang melibatkan 9 company tadi.
Ajlan Bros is one of the top real estate conglomerates in Saudi Arabia, specializing in residential, industrial, commercial and warehousing space. It has made considerable investments in more than 25 countries and has more than $15 billion worth of assets, as well as a revenue of over $2 billion. The government will implement an electricity supply system renewal program as a preliminary step in its effort towards energy transition. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Sabri Yaakob said the government has approved an allocation and distribution of 1,200 megawatts of renewable energy for solar power.
Kota baru ini akan diagihkan untuk pelaksanaan program di bawah mekanisme sedia ada, termasuk New Enhanced Dispatch Arrangement dan program pemasangan solar di bumbung bangunan. Penerokaan kaedah pelaksanaan program TBB baru seperti pembangunan taman solar ataupun solar park, pembekalan elektrik untuk tujuan pusat-pusat data baru serta penjanaan hidrogen hijau dan sebagainya.
The Premier said the provision of new options for the acquisition of green energy to corporations via the Virtual Power Purchase Agreement scheme from the 4th quarter with an offer of a quota of 600 megawatts will also be given. With this agreement, he said the government expects 14,000 job opportunities and new investments worth 6 billion ringgit would be created to support the development of the country's renewable energy sector. The government will also implement pioneering initiatives such as the Green Energy Island concept in Pulau Redang and Pulau Perhentian, Terengganu to provide electricity supply that is consistent, affordable and low carbon. The ban on chicken exports will be lifted in October, Special Task Force on Jihad Against Inflation Chairman Tan Sri Amna Musa announced today. However, he said only certain farms would be allowed to rear chickens meant for export, adding that they could begin rearing them now. The assurance, as told by Tan Sri Anwar in a press conference today, would prevent further uncertainties for chicken traders, which greatly affected their businesses last month.
Dah satu akan terus berjalan. Ya. Sebab kita nak mengelak daripada berlaku uncertainty ataupun spekulasi. Kalau kita ada deadline, orang speculate kerana nak tamat deadline, masing-masing mula buat adjustment. Itu tidak baik, tidak sihat. Ataupun orang yang cuba nak mengambil kesempatan, dia akan lakukan kurangkan supply dan sebagainya, dengan harapan kerajaan akan bertindak.
He added the cabinet had also agreed to resume scheduled chicken exports to Singapore without affecting domestic demand. Tan Sri Anwar, who is also Communications and Multimedia Minister, said those rearing chickens for exports must also obtain the Agriculture and Food Industries Ministry's approval as to the number of birds they would be producing. Chicken exports were banned from 1st June in the midst of a shortage of chicken supply that caused prices to increase. The government's decision to defer the implementation of amendments to the Employment Act 1955 to early next year is due to shortage of workers. Human Resources Minister Datuk Sri M. Saravanan said implementing the amendments at a time when employers were resolving the issue would only pile pressure on them. Elaborating further, Datuk Sri Saravanan said the request by employers to postpone the implementation was rational, adding the workforce issues should be resolved in 1 or 2 months.
Mereka setuju dengan penguatkuasaan, cuma mereka minta menangguh je sebab pekerja asing baru mula masuk. Kalau kita lihat dari segi perkembangan, lebih ramai pekerja dah mula masuk pada bulan Ogos. Setakat ini, untuk maklumat, tak ada isu. Setakat ini dah 47,000 pekerja dah mula masuk. Dan sebahagian besar adalah daripada negara Nepal. Hampir 19,000 daripada Nepal.
Datuk Sri Saravanan also refuted claims that the cost of hiring foreign workers was too high, saying that it was with zero cost. However, he said employers who hire foreign workers would have to cover their cost of accommodation and flight fares. He advised employers who have paid the levy for their foreign workers to submit the relevant documents to the relevant authority for further action. The government initially announced to enforce the amended Employment Act from 1st September. Among the key amendments are the extension of maternity leave from 60 days to 98 days, reduced weekly working hours from 48 to 45 hours, and 7-day paternity leave for married male employees. On another note, employers and workers are urged to identify the obstacles and risks at their respective workplace earlier to ensure that their safety and healthcare are protected. Datuk Sri M. Saravanan said such measures can help the government to reduce the rate of accidents happening at workplaces. Speaking at the 23rd Conference and Exhibition on Occupational Safety and Health in Kuala Lumpur, Datuk Sri Saravanan explained that the development of the 4th Industrial Revolution would affect the working environment.
20 tahun akan datang akan jadi satu dunia baru al-akhbar. Dan dari segi aspek keselamatan adalah amat penting. Maka persidangan seperti ini adalah amat penting supaya kita sebagai agensi kerajaan mengenal pasti perubahan yang berlaku di arena antarabangsa dan pastikan golongan warga Malaysia khususnya sektor ini tidak tercicir daripada arus pembangunan.
The Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, MOTAC, has revised and set a new target of tourist arrivals at 9.2 million with tourism receipts of 26.8 billion ringgit this year. Minister Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri said this came after the country had almost surpassed the astounding target that it had set for this year at 4.5 million tourist arrivals with 11.1 billion ringgit in tourism receipts. According to Datuk Sri Nancy, Malaysia has received over 3.21 million tourist arrivals and 9.35 billion ringgit of tourism revenue recorded from January until July. She explained that this is made possible only with the vigorous initiatives and incentives, including by bringing in international delegates through business events to the country since the reopening of borders and the easing of restrictions for inbound visitors. The minister added, like other tourism segments, the business events undeniably stimulate business for hospitality-related companies. Based on studies that are supported by international experience, she said, business event visitors spend 3 times more than the average tourists and have a large multiplier effect. She revealed that around 40% of them travel with spouses and 60% of them return as tourists later. Up next, 20,000 to participate in National Day Parade.
Perbarisan dan Perarakan Hari Kebangsaan 2022 31 Ogos 2022 Rabu bermula pukul 7 pagi bertempat di Dataran Merdeka Kuala Lumpur. Orang ramai dijemput hadir.
A transparent judgment reflects a credible justice system that's not influenced by fear for anyone. The Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, said in the justice system, the judge is an important character and plays a big role in ensuring the credibility and integrity of the judiciary. According to him, judges should write quality judgments of cases as a guide and reference for legal practitioners.
Penulisan alasan penghakiman menjadi medium penilaian untuk menentukan tahap kompetensi dan kecekapan hakim-hakim. Alasan penghakiman yang berkualiti dapat menzahirkan kemahiran hakim-hakim dalam menilai sesuatu isu dengan mengaplikasikan prinsip-prinsip undang-undang dan hukum syarak yang tepat sehingga keadilan dapat diberikan kepada yang berhak.
Sultan Nazrin said this when launching the Perak Al-Qanun Syariah Journal Volume 1 2022 in Ipoh today. He said in his roles as the head of the Islamic religion, who is responsible for Islamic affairs in the state, he fully supports the principle on the independence of the Sharia judiciary for the sake of justice. He expressed the need for efforts to improve the Sharia judicial system and empower the Sharia court. Almost 20,000 people will take part in the National Day 2022 parade at Dataran Merdeka on Wednesday. Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the number had increased compared to the previous 16,000 participants to meet the request of various parties who wanted to be part of the historic occasion.
Beberapa orang kata penambahbaikan yang kecil-kecil saja. Dari segi penyertaan, jumlahnya telah meningkat ke 19,000 lebih anggota. Kita bermula dengan 10,000, kemudian dah naik 16 sekarang. Saya ucap terima kasih kerana kita terpaksa accommodate lah banyak permintaan dan sebenarnya itu menggalakkan. Jadi sekarang ini yang terlibat dalam perarakan kita ni hampir 20,000 lah.
Tan Sri Anwar, who is also the chairman of the main committee for National Day and Malaysia Day 2022 celebrations, said the response towards the event was extraordinary. He added he was satisfied with the preparations and hoped everything would run smoothly as planned during the actual ceremony on Wednesday. Tan Sri Anwar also advised the public who wanted to witness the parade to arrive before 7:30 a.m. to avoid congestion as several roads would be closed. After a 2-year lapse due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the National Day main celebration themed Keluarga Malaysia Tegur Bersama will be back on 31st August with some 50,000 people expected to converge at the historic square beginning 7 a.m. The RM10 million Myros Technology Test Track MT3 that is being built in Sepang will become Southeast Asia pioneer facility undertaking active and passive testing of various vehicle safety system. Transport Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Ka Siong said the construction of MT3 is in line with the appointment of the Malaysian Institute of Road Safety Research Myros as the ASEAN Road Safety Centre to promote and enhance road safety in ASEAN countries. The minister said the kilometre-long MT3 would open up opportunities for producing 5-star vehicles with higher safety standards.
Pencatanan Myros Teknologi. Saya berharap pembangunan lita ini dapat menarik pihak swasta dan juga agensi-agensi yang lain untuk bekerjasama dengan MyROS bagi memastikan kenderaan yang dihasilkan dapat memenuhi spesifikasi yang ditetapkan agar kenderaan yang berada di pasaran adalah kenderaan yang bertaraf 5 bintang dan selamat untuk digunakan.
Among the types of vehicle safety tests to be offered by MT3 are safety assist for passenger vehicles, tests for commercial vehicles, motorcycle tests, and road infrastructure tests such as road furniture crash test. With the track, Datuk Seri Dr. Wee hope that agencies like the Road Transport Department can undertake testing on vehicles for the process of studies, research and evaluation. A teenager met her end when she fell from the 11th floor of a condominium located near a shopping mall in Bayan Lepas, Pulau Pinang. The 13-year-old victim was found lying facing down on the rooftop of the parking lot of the condominium. The incident was believed to have occurred at 6:30 a.m. today before the emergency call was made by the victim's mother. Berita District Police Chief Superintendent Kamal Rizal Janal, when contacted, confirmed the incident. Meanwhile, Senior Fire and Rescue Officer 2, Rohaizal Abdul Aziz, said the distress call was received at 6:48 a.m. before a team from the Bayan Baru Fire Station was dispatched to the scene. They were seen assisting medical personnel from the Health Ministry and the police in bringing down the victim from the parking lot rooftop via a ladder which was about 5 meters to the ground. The victim's remains were handed over to the police for further action. The operation ended at about 11:45 a.m. Police arrested 5 men, including 2 brothers, and seized about 6.6 million ringgit worth of drugs in a raid at a shed in Cenderia Tapah on Friday. Perak Police Chief Datuk Muhammad Yusri Hassan Basri today described the seizure as the biggest for the Perak Police this year. He said the police raided the shed at about 9:45 a.m. and arrested the men aged between 29 and 33 who were processing drugs.
Turut dirampas dalam operasi ini adalah bahan-bahan kimia dan peralatan yang dipercayai digunakan untuk memproses dadah. Semakan rekod jenayah mendapati 4 suspek mempunyai rekod kesal lampau bersabit kes jenayah.
He added police seized methamphetamine weighing about 110 kilograms. Briefing reporters today, Datuk Muhammad Yusri said police also seized 2 vehicles, 4 necklaces, a pendant, rings and earrings, all valued at 161 ringgit. Police believe the syndicate had been active since June. He said the suspects, all unemployed, were being remanded until 2nd September and the case is investigated under Section 39B of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952. Alright, so that's it from us this evening. In our top story, Malaysia seals a 34 billion ringgit MOU with Saudi Arabia conglomerate. Join us for updates at noon at 12:30 tomorrow. We leave you with a clip showing Raja Pemaisuri Agong, Tunku Haja Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria, gracing the opening of the Royal Floria Putrajaya 2022 and touring the Anjung Floria Garden. Themed Great Floria, the 12th edition of the Flower and Garden Festival, is now open to visitors until 4th September. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Thank you for watching.